And I'm back again. Tim Ostendorf, baritone and innkeeper, discussing usually all things Joan Sutherland, and we just heard Joan Sutherland. If you're following this little series I have of 6 sopranos singing the aria from Linda de Chamounix, O luce di quest'anima. And I've decided to go in order of when they were recorded. So the first one was 1959, Joan Sutherland, of course. And the next one, oh, big surprise, Beverly Sills, recorded in 1968 when she was 39, American soprano, as we all know. This, I think, is one of my absolute favorite recordings of her. First of all, look at that amazing shock of red hair. And she does this aria, she does the I Capuleti e Montecchi, O Quante Volte, she does Lucia's first big act aria, she does Roberta Devereux, La Sonnambula, and an aria from Rosamonda d'Inghilterra. Anyway, all great stuff. And I think that last aria was usually sometimes inserted into Lucia's first act aria, Regnava nel silenzio. It was done in place of that sometimes. But anyway, we'll talk about that when we talk about Lucia. Sorry, drink of the day was martini, and I forgot to eat the first olive for Joan Sutherland. So, 2 olives down, 4 more sopranos to go. So here is Beverly Sills' version of the opening recitative and cavatina from Linda de Chamounix. Here we go. And this opening is so effing slow, really? I mean, I know that's not her fault, but, and this conductor, I'm gonna get his name wrong, probably, Jussi Jalas, Jussi, Jussi, Jalas, I probably should have done my research on that. I've never heard of him before. But anyway, recorded in 1968, she was 39 at the time. Love that picture, I just absolutely love. But anyway, it picks up after this, but I don't know I know it's supposed to be a little sad. Oh, she arrived too late. But if anything, it should be like a little hurried, like she's just arriving on the scene, and then she's like, oh, shoot, tardi troppo. I'm too late. I'm too late. He's already gone. So maybe it should have a little more urgency to it instead of already she's sad because he's gone. Really? Did you get that? There's the slightest little catch in her voice right before Il mio diletto Carlo, my dear Carlo. It's just wonderful little... let's see if I can catch it again. She actually doesn't even breathe after trovai, even though there's a rest there. She just does this little catch from io non trovai il mio, just before she does the il mio diletto Carlo. There's this little catch in the voice. It's just a wonderful little, great moment. Wonderful text pointing, word picture. I don't know. So. And she does a trill I just think is wonderful. I don't know if I agree with it. It's on the word sofferto, suffering. But she does that, just this little tiny trill of a. Obviously, it's not written in the score. That's another form of a ornament, is to add a trill where it's not written, and it's just it's both an appoggiatura and a trill at the same time. I just love it. And we all know she studied with Estelle Liebling for many, many years since she was like in the womb. And she, a lot of Estelle's ornaments are, there's actually books about her ornamentation, and so of course a lot of these are Estelle's ornaments that she learned directly from Estelle Liebling, and I wonder if that was one of them, and I wish I had. I just have a little paper score thing that I printed off, and it's an old copy of a copy of a copy, and I've got to get some of Estelle's books of her ornaments, you know what I'm saying? And did you hear how she leaned into that word bene? I love him only, him, dear bene. L'amo unico di lui bene, only unico di lui bene. I love him, my dear, only. And just the way she leans into that bene, that appoggiatura, just love that. Dispeme pittori ignoto ancora. Pittore, painter, you won't be unknown anymore, and so anyway, every time I hear the word pittore, from, of course, all I can think of is La Boheme, in the third act when Marcello and Musetta are fighting, and it's this wonderful thing where okay, I'm getting off on a tangent. I'm sorry, but anyway, Mimi and Rodolfo, they're gonna decide they're not gonna break up till the springtime. But meanwhile, Musetta and Marcello are still fighting, and of course Marcello is a painter. And what's the worst possible insult that you can throw at a serious painter? And Musetta says, "Pittore di bottega," house painter, she calls him, which I just think is great. So anytime I hear the word pittore, I just, that's all I think of. So anyway, back to Linda di Chamounix. And she does that wonderful cadenza, and you're not quite sure when she's going to stop, and she almost goes a note or two higher than you think she's going to go. And you can hear her voice change from the beginning, where she's sad, and this she's starting to talk about, oh, he's an unknown painter, but soon his talenti will make him famous, and we will be content. And then she does that wonderful little cadenza right before we get into the boom chickie boom chickie. I was doing that in the Joan Sutherland. It's very Donizetti, boom chick. So anyway, in a little 3/4, boom chicka. There we go. A little slower than I like, but it picks up eventually. that insane? Obviously that was, and then she goes into a trill. I have to play that again. Real stuff hasn't started yet. I love that Vieni, come, and then it's just ah. And that chromatic down scale, that's very difficult to do, in case you didn't know. Okay, here we go again. Okay, and all this is just on an ah, which I think is brilliant. I just think that's very funny. It's very caballé, you know what I'm saying? And that is, I love that. She does that whole roulade and then just comes back in, and the instead of stopping, she comes in as the orchestra comes in. Like, she keeps going in the orchestra. It's brilliant. And there's a great, I think it was an Ed Sullivan, most of the Ed Sullivan and the Firestone videos have been released on DVD, thank God. And that might be an interesting take on actually showing the video. I don't know how I do that, but anyway. And she does this aria in this beautiful baby blue full-length gown. I'm pretty sure it's Ed Sullivan. I'll have to look it up on the break. When she does that bit where all these crazy roulades and then just keeps going without taking a breath and the orchestra comes back in, she has of course the fabulous 60s do. It's all piled up on her head, very similar to the do that she wore for the Ariadne of Naxos original version that she did from the BSO. I think that was 1969. Anyway, when she does that little roulade that I was just talking about, she has this wonderful little shake of the head that she does, like, that was easy. Wasn't that fun and easy? Like, she's just having such, like, the joy in her singing is so apparent. I'm going to have to find that video and somehow figure out how to put it on my YouTube's here, and we'll all love it, and it'll be wonderful. So I'm going to play that again, of course. There's some of them sing this ah see, but a lot of times they'll leave that out while they prepare for the big cadence and the big high note. and there's almost a moment right at the end where you think she's gonna like almost pause right before the high note, but it's like 1, 2, 3, balls to the walls. There it is, going for broke. I just I gotta find a new phrase then. I just love that, but I just love it. Okay, whose soprano is gonna be next? It was recorded in 1969. She was 38. Who was it? She was not American. She was not Australian. I don't know. Stay tuned for the next segment of Linda de Chamounix. Tim Ostendorf discussing various sopranos singing this fabulous aria.